Firstly, I thank you for giving us the opportunity to raise this very important issue this evening. On many occasions in this House and at Oireachtas committees, I have highlighted the need for further investigations into the bombing of Belturbet on the 28th of December 1972. Very sadly, two teenagers, Geraldine O'Reilly and Paddy Stanley, lost their lives due to that heinous crime, and many others were injured as well. Nobody has ever been brought to justice for these murders. A full, thorough and comprehensive investigation is needed in Northern Ireland in relation to this atrocity. The bomb, which had such devastating consequences, was brought across the border from County Fermanagh. Every possible avenue of investigation needs to be pursued to bring to justice the perpetrators of this horrendous crime. At oral questions to the Minister for Justice on the 10th of September, I referenced the detailed report by Assistant Professor Edward Burke of the University of Nottingham in relation to the activities of loyalist paramilitaries, particularly in Cavan and Monaghan. It is clear there was collusion between some British state forces and loyalist paramilitaries in their attacks in Cavan and Monaghan. I compliment RTE Investigates on the recent excellent documentary on the events concerning that fatal night in Belturbet. That programme has quite rightly won widespread acclaim. The O'Reilly and Stanley families, whom I know very well, have always been so dignified and gracious, but they continue to suffer so much due to the cruel loss of their loved ones. The least they deserve is to get the truth about the identity of those people involved in planning and carrying out that bombing. That very important publication, Lost Lives, references the reliable sources who attribute this bombing to the UVF. So much has been known over the years, but very regrettably, due to lack of cooperation and lack of a thorough investigation in Northern Ireland, no prosecutions have followed. Thank you, Ceann Comhairle.
Thank you, Ceann Comhairle, and I thank the deputies for raising this very important and very serious matter. The bombing of Belturbet on the 28th of December in 1972 was appalling and was a callous act of violence. It claimed the lives of two innocent young people and injured others. The pain and anguish caused was very evident in the programme last night, as family members recalled the events that took their loved ones away. The dreadful effects of this attack last to this day. The suffering of those who have lost what was most precious to them goes on. That the perpetrators of this atrocity have never been held accountable for their crimes can only compound that sense of loss. My deepest sympathies go out to the bereaved and injured, and it is my firm desire that the perpetrators will face justice and the families find the answers that they seek. I know the deputies and the entire House share this sentiment. As the deputies will be aware, the Garda authorities have previously advised that the bombing and the murders were comprehensively investigated by An Garda Síochána at the time. The Defence Forces provided expert assistance, and the investigation involved close liaison with the authorities in Northern Ireland. Despite every avenue of inquiry being pursued at the time, there was insufficient evidence to bring the perpetrators of this crime to justice. The investigation into the bombing and the two murders has not been closed, and An Garda Síochána will pursue any new evidence or information that is made available. They would, of course, work in close cooperation with the PSNI where that could advance the investigation. Following the debate in this House in September, Minister McEntee arranged for a copy of the academic article referred to by Deputy Smith, which concerned inter alia the Belturbet bombing and information on a potential suspect, to be forwarded to the Garda authorities for their attention. The Minister has also requested an update from the Garda authorities on the investigation into this matter. Most importantly, I appeal for anybody with any information that may be relevant to this case, even after nearly 50 years, to bring it to the attention of the Garda authorities to aid their investigation.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Deputy Smith.
Thank you very much, Ceann Comhairle. I thank the Minister Brown for his response. I am very glad that the Minister has confirmed that the report that I brought to the attention of this House in September has been referred by the Minister for Justice to the Garda authorities for further investigation. And I again take the opportunity to compliment Professor Burke of Nottingham University for that detailed report in relation to the reprehensible activities of loyalist paramilitaries in Ulster, and particularly in South Ulster, in my own counties of Cavan and Monaghan. Minister Brown quite rightly stated that it's almost 50 years since this atrocity was carried out. But as I said earlier to the Taoiseach today, it's never too late to get to the truth. These families, whom I know so well, who have always acted with such dignity and such grace, they fully realise that no matter what prosecution follows, sadly, it will not bring Geraldine or Paddy back to life. But they want to get the truth about who planned that bombing, who carried out that bombing, and what sinister forces were involved in cooperating and making it possible for those people to bring that bomb across the border into Belturbet on the 28th of December. We hear about legacy issues in general terms, but legacy issues comprise of individuals and families, individuals who unfortunately their lives were taken away, families who have grieved in the meantime, and others who suffer injuries inflicted upon them due to the terrorism that was inflicted on this island by both so-called Republican paramilitaries and so-called loyalist paramilitaries, and in some cases by state forces in Northern Ireland as well. Minister, I appeal to you to renew to An Garda Síochána to ensure that every effort is made to give some momentum to this investigation. And I am very glad that here in the House today, An Taoiseach committed to me that he will raise with the British and the Northern Ireland authorities the absolute need for a full, thorough and comprehensive report into this desperate atrocity that so sadly took away 2 young lives and caused injuries to so many more. The least, as I said earlier, that the O'Reilly and Stanley families deserve is the truth about who carried out that bombing and caused them such grief and took away 2 young, innocent lives. Thank you, Sean Corley.
Looking to how we can move forward, it is important to emphasise that the Garda criminal investigation remains open, and any new information or evidence will be thoroughly investigated, both in Ireland and in Northern Ireland, with the assistance of the PSNI. As I have mentioned, the Minister has also sought an update in relation to this case. There is a commitment in the programme for government to work with the UK Government and the political parties in Northern Ireland to address the legacy of the Troubles through the implementation of the Stormont House Agreement framework. Officials in my department and in the Department of Foreign Affairs are actively working on this commitment. Indeed, as a subject of the Barron report, the Belturbet bombing is included in the remit of the all-party motions calling on the UK Government to provide access to original documents. The Government is committed to actively pursuing the implementation of these all-party Dáil motions and has consistently raised the issue with the British Government. Most recently, the Minister for Foreign Affairs raised the need for progress on this issue directly with Secretary of State Lewis when they met in Belfast in October. And as Deputy Smith rightly pointed out, the Taoiseach this morning stated that he would pursue the matter with the British and Northern Irish authorities, recognising that the O'Reilly and Stanley families do need closure, do need to obtain the truth, and as Deputy Smith said, it is never too late. Thank you.